Hello Aries, and welcome to your general reading for the middle of August 2021. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for a more well-rounded perspective. And if you're interested in a more individual, personalized reading to fit your circumstances and or situation, be sure to check out the description box below for links for my Etsy shop and my website if you're interested. All right, let's go ahead and begin. And the first card that we are starting out with, we have Restore and Replenish. And this is just full of vibes of restoring, and I'm hearing full moon. So the full moon is a little bit a ways from now, but there is a call for you to do some work now leading up to and including the full moon time period that will help with your need to heal. So there's just an overall call to take time to pay attention to aches and pains, and those can be physical and or spiritual, but you're supposed to be taking note of what you're feeling, become better aware and more in tune to the little nuances or signs that you're getting from your body and your soul as far as how you are supposed to be nurturing it and tending to it and caring for it. And sometimes that does mean taking time to rest. And I'm just getting this overall feeling of a call to really, I mean, the type of rest I'm feeling is like long nights. Like instead of 8 hours sleep, maybe allow yourself to have 9 hours. Maybe your body's just calling for that extra hour or two. Really taking the time to kind of bury yourself in underneath the blankets and just allow yourself to sink into the comfort of the blankets and the bedding and just the darkness that you have when you go to bed at night. It's really kind of calling in that tapping into that energy of sleep, rest, and healing. So this is, and it's being really shown in this particular image, that bearing down in and being surrounded by that which nurtures you. And so this is what I'm getting that you are being called to do in the middle of August. And it's something that they're calling you to pay attention to meet your needs, not just the middle of August, but in your planning and preparation for whatever it is that you plan on doing. If you work with the full moon, whatever it is you're planning on doing as far as working with the full moon, make sure that that focus includes this. Take the time in the days leading up to the full moon to really get in an alignment with what your needs are and pull together what it is you need to do from what you learn from that during the full moon. And this is all going to really help you as you move through to the end of August. So it's kind of a lot of prep work in the beginning part of middle August, and it's going to help nurture you as you lead through towards the end of August. And excuse the glare, I can't, there we go, that's better than nothing, I suppose. All right, the next card we have is the Fool, and I feel like this is just letting you know that this is the direction you're going. You're preparing for something that's going to lead into something that's going to require more from you than where you were before. And it has a sense of new beginning with it, but it's not new beginning as in like high risk, don't know what you're doing sort of new beginning, as much as I'm getting kind of the sense of like what harvest is. So when you go with the analogy of a garden, when you plant a garden in the spring, there's that time period where you don't have to do a whole lot other than maybe pay attention to the weeds and make sure that the weeds aren't going to outgrow the things that you have planted. But overall, the amount of work that is necessary kind of tapers off a little bit, and then until you hit harvest season. And even at the beginning of harvest season, you just have a few things here and there that you kind of gather out of the garden until you get to about mid into the end of harvest. And then it's hard, like everything's producing. So then every day it feels like you're looking at new plants to see what's growing and ready for you to pick and harvest. And then whatever it is that you have to do with that, you have to go through the work and do with whatever it is that you need to do. This is the sort of new beginning that I'm feeling, that harvest. So the work that needs to be done that has come to fruition because of previous work. So that rest that I was speaking about, that you are being called to do, it's sort of a not only healing from what you have been going through up to this point, but it's sort of a preparation and getting you ready for what is to come. And there's a new workload that's coming. The workload is a result of work that was done before, but it is actually going to be intense enough that it requires quite a bit of you to be able to, like I said, pay attention and rest accordingly. This was followed by the Emperor and the Seven of Cups. I feel like the Emperor is tuning into that message of stability. This is all working towards stability. I feel like this is something that you know. When you set out prior to the point of needing the rest, when you set out, you knew that the work that you were putting in, the seeds that you were planting, the prep work that you were contributing or participating in was all part of hopefully creating a scenario in the near future for yourself that was going to give you stability, allow you to feel secure, allow you to feel like you have fewer things to worry about because you have your, to go with the turn of phrase, all your ducks in a row. So this is what this is leading towards. So this healing and rest is mid-month going into the new moon, the full moon, and the work that you need to be doing and prep for the full moon. The point of this is for the new work that's going to be coming soon as a result of old work that you have done, and all of this is leading towards stability that you had foreseen, which is why you decided to participate in this. And this is all going to give you essentially future options. The Seven of Cups it's speaking to me in two ways. The Seven of Cups is speaking to me in the sense that you're going to come up to a point of having more choices that you'll have to make, and what direction that you're going to go. But also, sometimes when we have options, there's nice, because we'd rather have options than no options. But along with that comes the struggle of too many options. You are going to be taking yourself into a direction that's going to render a ton of options. You may get to the point of being almost overwhelmed by the options that you are going to be led into. You might struggle with trying to decide which one is the best for you. This is where the rest and healing comes into play. We are better rested. We are better equipped mentally to approach what we're facing when it comes to decision making and trying to figure out where we want to go, what it is that we want or don't want. Those sorts of decision-making tools that comes when we are well rested and better prepared. So that's why the resting comes into play, because you're going to be leading yourself into this new direction, but along with it comes more options, more decision-making. And essentially, the options are going to be rendering the sort of things that put you at a crossroads. I think that's the biggest struggle that's going to come of the options. It's not like being able to pick and choose, and no matter what you pick and choose, you're going to be still going on the trajectory that you're going. This feels, the option circumstances feels more of a crossroads sort of situation or feeling. So it's one of those things where you have a ton of different options, but some of them are going to take you one direction, others of them are going to take you in another direction. So that's kind of the stumbling block or obstacle that you are going to be facing, and this feels very much towards the end of August. Ultimately, I am being reminded that when it comes to things like this, when we are faced with making decisions, usually there are no right or wrong decisions. It's just a matter of what it is that you want. It's a matter of really getting to know yourself. That's where the rest and healing and that whatever it is that you're going to potentially be doing during the full moon, that's where that comes into play, because it's not so much that an option is better or more correct than another, as much as you really have to know yourself. You have to know what it is that you want down to your very core to be able to feel solid in the decisions that you make as from the options that will be available to you. So take the time leading up to the end of the month to really kind of tap into who you are and what it is that you desire, and give yourself room to change your mind should an option come up that you feel is more fitting for you. And that way you allow yourself to be able to grab onto that and take that path and go on that trajectory, even if it's not the one that you had originally foreseen or envisioned that was where you wanted to go. We're finishing with the snake, and I'm just getting all kinds of vibes of rebirth, new skin, shedding of the old and putting on of the new, or growing and expanding within the new. So a lot of rebirth sorts of energy at the end of the month of August for you. All right, Aries, that is all I have for you. Again, be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising for a more well-rounded perspective in your general reading for this month. And if you're interested in something that's more personalized to you and your situation and experience, go ahead and check out the link box below. Other than that, I hope you have a beautiful mid to end of month of August, and we'll see you in a future video.